Okay. You're not going to talk?
Not necessarily they did anything wrong while they were vegan, but it's just selfishness. And I wanted to talk about that. I suspect that these people, who claim to have gone vegan for ethical reasons, like Maddie, she actually attended pig save vigils. She talked about how eating animal products is morally wrong. She's been involved in activism. And then she started eating fish and eggs, for health reasons, because she claimed she had really bad menstrual pains. So, at the end of the day, it's a selfish reason to do it. I don't know why these people think that their suffering matters more than an animal's suffering. And I suspect that all of these people were brought up a certain way. There was a guy in my Discord a while back.
All these people were brought up in a certain way. So I can't wait to hear Vegangains parenting advice. So if you don't want to be a vegan, if your health is failing on a vegan diet, like all these people who were they said, oh, she had kind of a bad period or something. All these people, these women who lost their fertility, these children who lost their teeth, these humans who were suffering from a vegan diet. He says, oh, they're just selfish. They're just selfish. Hi, everyone. I just want to talk about, I just want to go ahead and project some of my bullshit thoughts on other people for a minute. And I'm just going to go ahead and say that all these other people are selfish. This is Vegangains. This guy, him and his girlfriend, his wife, who he now whores out on OnlyFans, right? He's turned his wife into a legit hoe. He's hoeing his wife's holes on OnlyFans, slinging pictures of her booty hole. But he just cares about suffering. He just cares about suffering. Him and his wife, who now, who they are selling that ass on OnlyFans, him and his wife said in a video in the past that having children is terrible and that you shouldn't bring children into this world, and that bringing another life into this world is one of the worst things that you could do, and it's incredibly bad for the planet. It's so bad for the people. And he said it's because also children are too expensive. I don't forget what video it was in, but we had some clips of Vegangains in a video. It must have been 3 years ago. And that's what they're talking about. Oh, it's so expensive to have a children. I'd rather spend that money on myself. I want to be able to play video games and ride motorcycles, he said. But here he is talking about other people are selfish. Other people are selfish. Good job, Richard. Let's hear about how we should raise our children from Vegangains,
who talked about how he went vegan and wasn't related to, the conversation that he went vegan, but he was talking about his childhood at one point. And he said he had an amazing childhood. His parents always loved him, supported him, never yelled. And, were always just really nice and loving. And a few months later, that guy became an ex-vegan. And his reasoning for it was because he couldn't build muscle as a vegan. He couldn't look the way he wanted. And I suspect John Venus, Maddie Lindberner, all of these people who've quit veganism, I suspect that they had really nice childhoods as well, where no matter what, their parents loved, cared for them, never harsh or mean to them.
So this is the problem. The problem is people have loving parents, and because they have these loving parents, they end up leaving veganism. I mean, you guys get this? This is some hardcore spiritual science going on right here. So remember, parents, don't be so nice to your parents. Don't give them unconditional love. Only give them unconditional love on the condition that they'll be vegan for the animals.
And I think that might be one of the root problems. When I was a kid, my parents were super super hard on me.
When I was a kid, my parents were super, super hard on me. They wouldn't even let me coom all day long. They decreased. They said that I can. They won't pay for my Pornhub description when I'm 17 years old. My parents were really, really just terrible to me. They wouldn't buy me like new computers all the time, and I didn't even have a PlayStation 2. Oh.
I had really tough hockey parents, and
Oh, my parents came to my hockey games. They made me go to play hockey. Oh,
I would only get love and affection, attention,
Sorry, boy, because I
you know,
want to be the big man, the big daddy.
the sort of positive energy from them when I completed tasks, when I lived up to, their expectations. And that wasn't necessarily right of them to do that.
it wasn't necessarily. And remember, somebody in the chat just reminded me. He tried to film his dying grandfather's death. He tried to film his grandfather's last breaths of life on his deathbed. And his parents were so. Oh my parents were just really mean to me. They wouldn't even let me film my grandpa's death to put it on YouTube and mock him. So, yeah, I just kind of really wish I was never born, and none of us were born, and we're all bad, and if you're not vegan anymore, then your parents were probably nice to you, and my parents were mean to me, and that's why it's good that I'm vegan, but your parents were probably different from my parents, which is why you're not vegan and not good like me. What kind of weird cope mechanisms is this dude going for? This is just pure delusion here.
But I did learn from a young age that, there are expectations that you have to meet, and you're not special. You're not, this amazing, special little boy or girl that always needs love and attention no matter what, and you'll never disappoint me, and no matter what, I'll always love you no matter what you do. No. I had to work hard. I had to win. I had to beat other people in order to earn that sort of attention. And look, I don't think any of these people who are ex-vegans have that sort of mindset where they think they do have to meet some sort of expectations to be a good person, because their entire fucking lives they're told by their parents that they're special. I'll always love you no matter what.
So, Vegangains, who says that there is no objective right and wrong, there is no good. There is no good in his worldview. Right? In the debate that I had with Vegangains, he can't even ground the good in his worldview. He doesn't believe in the metaphysics. He says there is no metaphysics, there is no good, there is no bad. We determine what is morally right and wrong by what? By what? The majority, basically. Majority rules. If you ask these people, a lot of these people, these ethical vegans, how they know what is right or wrong, they have no answer. So it all just comes down to these people make me feel angry. These ex-vegans make me feel mad. I'm starving myself over here, pretending like I'm doing just fine on my vegan diet that has me bleeding from my ass, chronically depressed and inflamed. And it reminds me, every time I see these people eating meat, it reminds me how miserable I am, how twisted my worldview is. So I'm mad at them. So it must be because their parents weren't as mean as my parents. My parents were mean, and that makes me virtuous. Vegangains doesn't even believe in virtue. All of these are just masturbatory, self-refuting, nonsensical ramblings of a lost soul. It's sad, right? And it's I'm not just here to beat up on Richard. I think he's pathetic very often. I think he behaves in a pathetic way. He behaves like a freaking dork. Acts like a dickhead. Whoring his wife out on OnlyFans. Shameless individual. All sorts of rage against God. But, aren't we all made in the image and likeness of God? Don't we all have the potential to be better? Don't we all have the potential to repent? Don't we all have potential to actually do something good? I think we all know this deep inside. This is why even these atheists like Vegangains who claim there's no God, there is no right or wrong, there is no morality, none of that exists, they know that they're wrong. They don't even live like that. They can't even live up to their own false ideals about how they claim. A lot of us try to fool ourselves into thinking that that isn't so. We want to arrogantly say that we make up what's good, bad, right, or wrong. But this moral relativism is a cancer. Now, it's a spiritual virus. And this guy caught that virus and he embraced it, but he can't even live by it. Here he is on his moral high horse, even though he says morality doesn't exist, preaching morality about what? Veganism. So Vegangains' spiritual ecstasy of his vegan spiritual ecstasy, his ecstatic vegan spirituality is all just about raging, right? It's about raging at people. It's about hating. It's sad.
That kind of crap. So it makes it that much easier for them when they quit veganism to be okay with themselves, to be able to look themselves in the mirror, go to bed at night, because no matter what they do, they'll always be special, they'll always be loved.
So your parents really should have just told you, we only love you if you're vegan.
And I know that I have to meet these sorts of expectations to be a good person, to be not even special, just to be a decent freaking human being.
You mean vegan, right? You mean just like you. To believe all the things you believe, right? Veganism. Even though you say morality is subjective, your subjective view is what everybody should submit to. What a hypocrite.
So, I'd say that's the main reason I'll always be a vegan. I know that.
You won't always be vegan, Vegangains, because you're all future ex-vegans. We've gone through this before. You will not always be vegan. You haven't always been vegan, and you will not always be vegan. When your meat suit expires, are you vegan? Right? Don't you believe that we're all just beasts, that we're all just dust? So what do you mean you'll always be vegan? Are you going to live forever, Vegangains? Come on.
You know, I actually have to make some sort of personal sacrifice. It's not even a really major one. To be a decent human being.
There you go. So that he admits to himself. He's talking to himself. It's fascinating, right? It's like this is his self-talk, his self-interrogation therapy. So he admits there he's making some sacrifice to be righteous and a vegan. Now, what is that? Is that, bleeding from your ass, burping and farting all the time? Is it being chronically inflamed and depressed? What is the sacrifice you're making? Right? And in Vegangains' worldview, again, remember, there is no objective right or wrong. So nothing's better than something else. So he doesn't even believe virtue exists. He doesn't believe right and wrong exists. So what's the problem, Vegangains?
Major one. To be a decent human being. And on top of that, I had a very trippy out-of-body experience when I was in the hospital one time for an E. coli infection in my knee. I had multiple surgeries on my knee, and I ended up getting an E. coli infection in my knee. I was in severe pain. I was on morphine. I had 2 surgeries back to back.
Okay, so he had. Are you kidding me? We're getting into out of body experience. He says you're nothing but your body. He doesn't believe that this exists. He doesn't believe that human beings have a soul, that we have something beyond the physical. He says he doesn't believe this. This is his way of debating all the time. He's trying to smash theists, disprove the existence of God and metaphysics constantly. Yet here he is talking about his out of body experience. Total hypocrisy, right? It's let's use these arguments pragmatically just to get people pinned down, right? Because the argumentation that these people use, it can work on a lot of normie atheists, right? These normie atheists who have this viewpoint of morality as is subjective. It's very easy in their little weird sparring matches to push them into a corner. And feel guilty and start shaming them, making them feel guilty about all sorts of weird things that they have no reason to feel guilty about. Right? But then these people say, oh, well, guilt shouldn't even exist. We shouldn't have any guilt because there is no morality. Morality's not even real. Well, then they're constantly using guilt and shame to try to make people behave the way they want them to behave.
I was in the hospital one time.
I'm a soy boy. Vegangains, let's get to this. Out of body experience, huh?
Sort of personal sacrifice. It's not even a really major one. To be a decent human being. And on top of that, I had a very trippy out-of-body experience when I was in the hospital one time for an E. coli infection in my knee. I had multiple surgeries on my knee, and I ended up getting an E. coli infection in my knee. I was in severe pain. I was on morphine. I had 2 surgeries back to back within, I think, 24 hours of each other, where I had to be put to sleep. And I was also given extra opiates, OxyContin and Percocet. And I think I overdosed.
I think I overdosed on Oxy and Percocets. And I'm going to go ahead and base my spiritual beliefs on this experience. What?
Sensation that I was dying, could feel my heart slow down, and I felt like death wash over me. And a few seconds after that, I left my body, and my consciousness molded into the universe.
Here you go.
Every planet, galaxy, molecule, every living thing.
He was of the galaxies. He felt all the galaxies. And Neil deGrasse Tyson and Bill Nye. He felt the cosmic Bill Nye, the cosmic giggle, the cosmic goofy giggle of Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Felt like a part of my fingertips. And I felt a sense of connection to everything that I had never felt before. This was before I went vegan, by the way, but I think it's a major reason why I ended up becoming vegan.
So here's yet another origin myth from Vegangains. Here's a reason why he became vegan. First, he said he became vegan for health. It was because of the health reasons, right? And then he changed his tune and said, veganism is not about health, it's about the animals. I became vegan because I saw a video of cute little Wilbur the pig getting slaughtered. I felt so bad, so sad, made me so sad, so crying, tear come from my eye, and I became vegan. Now, I was high as shit on perks and oxys, passed out in a hospital, and I found my calling as a spiritual vegan. How many different origin stories are you going to give us, Vegangains?
And staying vegan. But in that moment, when I felt so connected to everything.
Did you feel connected to the babies that you promote the infanticide of? The unborn human babies? Do you feel empathy for them?
I realized that the harm that you commit against other creatures is the harm that you're going to have to experience yourself. This might not be true. It's just what I experienced and what I felt, but I do think it's meaningful. But yeah, I feel that, when you rape these animals, torture them, keep them in confined spaces, you're going to have to live that out yourself at one point.
Okay, well, let's hear another thing that Vegangains had to say. Let me see. I think this is the right clip.
Pendu donated $2. He asks, how can someone get thicker skin? Although I can't help it, I easily get offended or upset at very minor situations where I feel someone is being rude or disrespectful to me. How to just not give a shit about it. I think you should try to be rude and disrespectful to other people. Like, if you're in a grocery store and somebody blocks the aisle with their cart, rather than just asking them to move, just smash your cart into their cart and just make it either tip over or move. That's what I do. I'm just insanely fucking rude in public. There's this old dude who was going to the grocery store coughing, and I yelled at him, no coughing. And there was this woman who was smoking a cigarette going to the grocery store once, and she flicked her cigarette on the ground when there was an ashtray right there. So I picked up her cigarette and then threw it into her purse and I said, here, you dropped this. Try being just really fucking rude to everybody in public. I think you'll get an appreciation for just how fun it is to just fuck like social norms. Like this whole idea of being like respectful and polite to people that you don't even know. I don't know, it just feels very controlling and restrictive. So just, yeah, I don't know, just get a taste for it yourself. Try being rude, and then I think you'll just develop an appreciation for just arguing and, you know, fighting with people and just not taking things so personally. It just becomes a joke to you. So, yeah, maybe try that. That's worked for me. But
That's worked for me. So again, Vegangains, who's talking about, oh, people are so selfish, that's why they don't want to go vegan. This is how I want to treat people. This is how I treat people. This is what makes me feel good. Treating people like shit. And then here he is saying, oh, the pain that you inflict, you're going to experience this. Like, what does this mean? When are you going to experience this pain? Are you saying there's an afterlife all of a sudden, Vegangains? Now you believe in an afterlife? Let's finish this one. I gotta hear the theology of Vegangains, his great vegan spirituality theologizing here.
Against other creatures is the harm that you're going to have to experience yourself. This might not be true. It's just what I experienced and what I felt, but I do think it's meaningful. But yeah, I feel that, you know, when you rape these animals, torture them, keep them in confined spaces, you're going to have to live that out yourself at one point and experience that same suffering. So if that's the case.
Okay, so this monist, we're all one, bro. This is, he's saying that you're going to experience this after death, right? So he now believes in an afterlife. He denies metaphysics, denies non-physical things, but believes some part of him is going to live forever, I guess? Strange.
You're not going to escape the suffering you have by eating these animal products. If anything, you'll only make it worse for yourself. And bottom line, animal products don't cure any of these problems.
No, they do cure these problems, Vegangains. They cure veganism, right? This thing that you're experiencing right now, what you're exuding right now, this end-stage veganism rant that you're telling us about right now, your thoughts, all of this is symptoms. These are all symptoms, right, of the disease of affluence called veganism. The mental, emotional, physical disease of veganism can be cured. Can be cured. Right? Animal foods have tons of things that plant foods do not have. Carnitine, carnosine, vitamin B12, zinc, bioavailable heme iron, iodine, creatine, choline, taurine. Goes on and on and on. You're not going to get these from animal foods. From plant foods. You get them from animal foods, though. Right? And having super low cholesterol makes you more likely to be involved in dangerous criminal activity. Right? Low cholesterol is associated with risk-seeking behavior, depression, anxiety, violent crime. So yeah, there are benefits to eating animal foods, which is why all these people that you're so annoyed by are getting better when they eat animal foods. And it seems like you know this is true, and this is just a coping mechanism. I'm kind of sick of seeing you cope with it. It is kind of entertaining. It's sad seeing you suffer through this. But yeah, anyways, let's go back.
Like bad skin, painful periods, muscle cramps. You're just an idiot. You're just a stupid, selfish idiot who's doing this for no goddamn reason. And I'm not one of those stupid, selfish idiots. So that's
sure
why
about
I
that?
will always be vegan.
He's
and,
selfless, intelligent, special Vegangains, right? So Vegangains says your parents told you were special. They told you they loved you no matter what, and that's the problem. But then Vegangains is here in his self-talk telling himself, I'm going to be vegan no matter what. I'm special. I'm not selfish. I'm not stupid. Classic.
Road is really rough. But tell me what you think in the comments section down below. What do you think? What are your reasons for going vegan? Your reasons for staying vegan? What are your reasons for not being vegan? Tell me what you think about this in the comments section, and as always, keep making those vegan and rollerblade gains.
Damn. Look at that form.